It's getting ready to storm out here, yo.
Why does it always rain when we're trying to make a video? And then you watch the video, it's all in the sound. Yeah, I guess we need to try to hurry and say what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So, how can supercharging be better? And I guess in charging in general, just be better.
I don't know. You know more than me.
We went on a road trip together. You have any complaints about the supercharging?
Just the locations.
Oh yeah, the locations.
Locations. Other than that, I mean.
And it was really just one that was in a bad location.
I mean.
All the other ones had nice shopping centers. The parking was easy to find. It was a mall.
And they really put them. I know they have to probably put them far out, but they're far out from certain things.
Like what?
Like I know I can walk. I can walk to some places, but sometimes they were a little far. Like the mall one, the one that was at the mall.
Oh, in Mobile?
Yeah. That was a little far.
It's a little far off of the interstate we were on, but it was close to the because we were going from west to east, but it was close to the interstate that goes north and south.
Yeah.
So I mean, and it was probably good for that intersection to get people going in both directions. I kind of understand that one, but it'd be nice if they had two over there. I don't think Mobile is to the point where they have enough Teslas to where they need two in one city.
No, but you have to cross over it to get to other destinations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I don't think it should be based upon how many people live in the area. It should be based upon how many visitors are possibly going to travel through that area. I mean,
yeah, even that I don't know if Mobile is. Still don't know if there's a two supercharger city.
I mean, the Funiac, no.
I think the Funiac just that kind of just is an area that's in between two superchargers where they needed to kind of put one, just based on distance. Because that's kind of that's not a destination. You make that light. Don't let that light turn red on you.
It did turn red on him, but
I think he made it through.
No,
it was still yellow.
Nah, I think it was red. It was red. I think it was.
Yeah, so basically they just need more locations right now, and they're building them out. I know in places like California and between LA and San Francisco and LA and Las Vegas, those are the areas where people are normally waiting in line to use superchargers. And they're building these new 40, like the one in Baton Rouge has 6 chargers.
Mm-hmm.
They're building ones with 40 spots, and it's like a whole rest area almost. Like an area with like
California.
Yeah, there's like an area with couches and like it's tables or whatever. Where you can kind of relax while you're charging. The bathrooms and stuff.
I wish they made them all more like a gas station.
Nice. Or they can, like, I think the one in the Funiac could be like at a rest area or something. That would have been better.
And it would be nice if they could put one, like, where you have to make where like when you get across the state line, they have the little area where, what's they call that place? Where tourists go to get the maps and stuff.
A rest area.
Yeah, that's what you just said.
Hmm?
Well, they don't have them there off of the interstates. And they need to put one in the rest area. At least one. Right off the interstate.
And it also needs to be so that you can get all of the distance you need within the first 80% of the charge, because that's the fastest charge. That last 20% takes the longest amount of time. Because I think most of the superchargers we were at, we didn't stay longer than 35. I think 40 minutes might have been the longest one.
It wasn't long.
We didn't stay really long. But if we went in one of the cars with the smaller battery, we would have been there forever. Okay, for example, this is why they need more locations. The way it's set up now is it only works if you're going directly to a supercharger. But it kind of like, I think people use the word locals hogging the superchargers. People kind of throw that around a little bit too much just because you see someone with that same state, with the same license plate or something from the state that their supercharger's in, and you think that they're just hogging it or something. But I don't think that's always the case. Like, for example, to drive from the Lake Charles supercharger to the I'll go this way, to the Slidell supercharger, it's 222 miles. And the S60 only has a range of 210 miles. But it's okay because the Baton Rouge supercharger is right in between, and it's like 135 miles away, so that works out perfectly. But what if you needed to go from Lake Charles and you need to stop in Morgan City, and then your next stop needed to be in Slidell? From Lake Charles to Morgan City is 143 miles. You're okay. But to Morgan City to Slidell is 114 miles. So you're over 250 miles without a supercharge.
Uh-oh, somebody's gonna run out of charge.
Yeah, if you're in an X60, you're gonna run out of charge, or you're gonna be sitting at a Nissan dealership if they're lucky enough to let you charge. I mean, if they're nice enough to let you charge, which they may or may not. I'm sure there's some in that area.
Nissan Leaf.
But there aren't a lot of charges over there. I mean, there are some charges, but there aren't as many as there need to be on that Highway 90 stretch. Soon to be Interstate 49, the plan that has been going on for 1,000 years.
We're getting another interstate? Big Jesus!
Well, there's Interstate 49 right there, but
it's Big Jesus.
There's a statue of Jesus in front of this church right here, and my wife says, "Big Jesus," every time we pass by it.
Because it's not baby Jesus, it's Big Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Sweet baby Jesus.
6 pounds, 5 ounces. Another thing is, for the superchargers, especially the ones that get crowded, y'all, you just need more information. Like, on the map, it shows you with these little red dots how many people are charging there. Sometimes it's right. It seems like most of the time it's wrong, or just hasn't updated soon enough. But one thing that would really help is if we knew how long the people were there charging, and we knew how many people were waiting.
How they gonna get how many people waiting?
Okay, the idea I came up with is, let's say you get to a supercharger and all the places are, all the plug-in spots are full. Mm-hmm. Now the car knows where your location is, and you probably put in a supercharger as your destination. So a screen could pop, something in the window could pop up on the screen. It says, "Are you gonna be in the queue?" And it says, you just put yes, and then it'll update the system. So the next person that comes will see that there's one person waiting.
Will it tell you what terminal to go to?
That's another thing. Well, I guess it wouldn't matter if they were full, because you would just go to the next one that opens up.
Yeah, but it would be nice to tell you to go to A3.
Yeah. So what if I got to a supercharger and half the stalls are full? Ideally, I'm going to want to go to the one with the person who has the most full battery, because their charge is going to start to slow down, and I'm going to be paired with them. And that way I'll get the most charge, the fastest charge, the quickest. So at that point, it can recommend go to 1A and instead of 2C or whatever.
Food Mart.
I hate the name of it. It's so generic. Food Mart.
Well, they have food and it's a mart. So it's got Food Mart. I think a definition of a mart.
Yeah, what is a mart? So it's Walmart, it's Kmart. I wonder if mart is like a weird, like it's supposed to be like market, but it's.
I bet it is.
Another thing they can do is for the people who aren't quite using the superchargers properly. I mean, I know they sent out the emails last time about.
How can you not use them properly? What do you mean?
People who are charging 100% every time, and they're basically just wasting time.
Wait, what?
If you're charging to 100% every time,
What's wrong with charging to 100% every time?
it's not good for the battery.
Oh.
I mean, it's okay to charge to 100%, and if you're going to drive right then and there,
Yeah.
if you're not letting the battery sit at 100%, but you want the battery to be between 20% and 80%.
20%? Who's riding around with a 20% battery?
I mean, you don't really want it to drop below 20%.
Oh, I just need to get 20%, just enough.
Yeah, but if somebody's charging to 100% and then they only have to drive like 20 more miles, or if they only have to drive, or they're driving to the next supercharger and that supercharger is 100 miles away, and they only really needed to charge to 50%, and that only would have took them 15 minutes to get to 50% or 20 minutes to get to 50%, but they stayed there for...
But they stay in it, but you can't tell people that they can't charge to 100% even though there's another one that they're going to be stopping at. You never know. They might have to do a detour. They might have to turn around. They might want to charge to 100% even though the next charger is right around the corner.
But I'm not telling people what to do. I'm saying, like, after the fact, you can tell people that, okay, you charged at this supercharger to 100% and it took you an hour and a half or whatever. If they have a bigger battery, it could take them that long. And when you finally got to your destination, they could say you could have saved 30 minutes by just charging to 70%.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to tell them that they could have saved.
And you would have got to your destination with the same amount of battery if you like. Instead of charging at 100% at this one, you can charge at 70% at this one and at 70% at the next one quickly or whatever.
I mean, it's okay to tell them, oh, you could have saved time by doing this, but you never know. They might want to charge to 100% every time just in case if a situation happens and they got to make a U-turn and start heading back home.
Hopefully the GPS will help people out better with that, knowing what's going on in the area.
Because, I mean, who knows? I know the battery doesn't go down while you're sitting, but you could be sitting for a while, i.e. the flood. That had people sitting for a while.
Yeah. Another thing that'll help is just a lot more destination chargers for the people who are hogging the superchargers. Because using a supercharger really isn't good for the battery if that's your only way of charging. Because it kind of puts a lot of stress on the battery to put that much energy into it that fast. But if there were the destination chargers, remember the little charger we had at Florida?
Yeah.
That's a destination charger. And it charges, if they had a little faster version of that one, like some higher amperage versions, like at places where you'll be 30 minutes to an hour, like grocery stores and restaurants and stuff like that. And that's another problem with the superchargers. They kind of put them in areas where people can kind of be for a really long time. Yeah, but supercharger works great. It could work better. Some of it's just people being a little more courteous, and some of it's they're just gonna need more, especially when the Model 3 comes out and it's in full production early next year and the supercharger apocalypse begins.